Okay, developers, welcome back. This video is brought to you by the Tron Network, and today we're going to look at their current hackathon. Their season 2 is just about to start, and there is some serious money up for grabs. We're also going to look at how easy and quick it is to deploy Solidity smart contracts to the Tron Network using the Tron IDE. If you're new here, I'm Calvin Torra, and on Eat the Blocks, we help Web 2 developers transition into Web 3. Their testnet officially launched in 2018, and they have a 10-year roadmap of which we're currently in stage 3, the Great Voyage. They have the Tron virtual machine, which gives us Ethereum compatibility. So if you're already into Solidity, you can keep coding and gain the benefits of the Tron network. Benefits that also include their delegated proof of stake consensus, which enables a maximum of 2,000 transactions per second, which is quite a bit higher than Ethereum's. Now, Tron has a wallet CLI, which is a command line version of the wallet, giving you many command line tools to communicate with the Tron public chain. But they also have Tron Link, which has much more of a UI focus and is available in the browser and on mobile, iOS or Android. We also have Tron Scan, which has all the features we'd expect from a block explorer, but they also have a built-in web wallet. Then we have Tron Web. Tron Web aims to deliver a seamless experience and was influenced by the popular Web3 JS for Ethereum. It's a JavaScript package that unlocks the functionality of Tron's features when creating dApps in the browser, Node.js, and for IoT devices. Now, Tron also comes with its own IDE, which looks very similar to Remix. We can build, compile, deploy, and interact with contracts using their IDE as expected. We also have Tron Grid. So if you're familiar with Infura, Tron Grid provides the same functionality, and it gives us an API interface into the Tron network, whether that's the mainnet or testnet. All of the endpoints are outlined in their docs. They also have something called Tron Box. Now, this is a smart contract development, testing, and deployment tool offered by the Tron network. We have compile, migrate, and test, and these are all familiar command line arguments that we can pass into Tron Box. Now, reading more into their docs, they've got something called Bittorrent Chain. And this is the first scalable cross-chain interoperability protocol on Tron. It uses a proof of stake and is compatible with Ethereum-based smart contracts. It also allows devs to migrate and develop dApps on-chain without a problem. On their site, we're looking at up to 7,000 transactions per second, an average of 1 cent transaction fees, 3-second confirmations, and 1-click migrations. So the main currency on the Tron network is TRX, which can be used for voting purposes. TRC10 are the technical tokens issued and supported by the network. We then have the TRC20, which is used with the Tron virtual machine, and it's compatible with the ERC20. We also have the TRC721, which is the NFT version and fully compatible with ERC721. Now, if you are so inclined, you can also run your own node to verify blocks and transaction data. At the moment, the Tron client is implemented in Java, which follows the Tron protocol, and there are 2 types of nodes that you can run. There's the full node, which stores the full blockchain data and provides HTTP APIs for external queries. Then we have the light full node. This version runs the same code as the full node, but it's based on a snapshot of data from the last 256 blocks. So as you can imagine, the light version takes up less space on your machine and it allows it to start up faster, but it doesn't give you the complete historical block and transaction data. If you're just looking to sync blocks and broadcast transactions, then the light full node is the way to go. You'll need a machine with about 16 to 32 cores, between 32 gigs of RAM and 64 gigs of RAM. And then you need about 1.5 terabytes of SSD disk space. And with these stats, you'll be able to run your full node or light full node. You don't need to keep these nodes on 24/7, but it is suggested to keep it online as much as possible to keep everything in sync. Okay, so let's get warmed up for the hackathon. Let's build a Solidity contract and deploy it to the Tron network. First, we'll need the Tron Link wallet, so we're going to go over to the website and grab the Chrome extension. Then we'll set it up and get ready to go. We're going to be creating a decentralized library where we can browse through books, borrow books for a daily fee, and add books to the library itself. We'll start off with some boilerplate abstract contracts that we can inherit from later on. Now, typically we care about things like book titles, the content, availability, and price. So let's start by creating a struct that contains those elements. We'll call it book, and we'll add a name and description as strings, availability as a boolean, price as a uint, and the owner of the book as an address. Now, it would be a bit of a terrible library if we weren't able to browse through their selection to see what books they even have in stock. So we need a way to track the books. We'll create a mapping with the book ID as the key and the book struct as the value. Make it public and we'll call it books. Next, we'll need a way to track what book is currently being borrowed, by who, and when to expect the book back. So we'll create another struct called tracking, and this will take the book ID, a start and end time, and then the borrower of the book as an address. We'll then set up a mapping with a tracking ID and a tracking struct as the value. We'll call this one trackings. Now let's jump into the functions. We'll create a function to add a book. We'll take in a name, description, price, make it public, and return a boolean. We'll instantiate a book struct, passing in our parameters, and pass it into our tracking mapping. Then we'll emit the new book event, which we'll create in a second, and increment the book ID. Now we'll look at borrowing a book. So we'll pass in an ID, a start time, and an end time, and then make it payable. We'll need to make sure this book is even available, so we'll use a require statement, and also that the funds passed into the function matches the required amount for the borrowing of this book. And in a moment, we'll look at a helper function called days, and this will help with the calculation. We'll send the transaction from the signer of the transaction to the book owner. Then we'll start tracking the borrowing of this book and emit the rental while incrementing the tracking ID. Now, to delete a book, we just need the book ID. We'll make sure the signer of the transaction is the owner, and then delete the book in the mapping and emit that event. Now, for the helper functions, we need send trx and create tracking, and we also need the days function. For the send trx, we need a function where we'll take a receiver and a value and then transfer that value. Then create tracking needs a book ID, a start time, and an end time. We instantiate our struct and place it in the trackings mapping. We grab a reference to the book and change the status to false so we know it's being borrowed. And then we have the days function where we take in a start and end time, and that will calculate the number of days a book is rented out. Now we'll just create the 3 events we need: new book, new rental, and delete book. And then we're done. Now we need to grab some test tokens for our wallet, and we can do that over on nilex.io, the website. We're going to switch our wallet over to the Nile testnet and use our new wallet address. Now we just wait for the funds to hit the wallet. So we're going to use the Tron IDE and deploy our contract on the Nile testnet. If you are using this IDE for the first time, we do need to enable 2 modules, compiler and deployment. Then we should get the left sidebar to show up with more options. We'll paste the entire contract into library.sol and then compile it. We need to enter a fee limit of 1 billion, which is 9 zeros and a 1. We click accept on the pop-up for deployment. Once done, we'll see a familiar panel with the available functions that we can call, and that's pretty much it. It's really familiar. They also have a complete project built with Vue and Nuxt in their docs that interacts with the contract we just deployed. If we grab the address from the IDE of our contract and then clone the repo from their docs, we can simply change the address in the utils.js file and run the app to see things in action. So now that you've seen how easy it is to deploy on the Tron network, let's look at their hackathon. Season 2 of their grand hackathon is about to start, and they have $1 million up for grabs across 4 tracks. So projects in Web3, NFTs, DeFi, and gaming are all acceptable. They have industry experts from every pocket of the industry bringing their unique thought leadership into the evaluations of the hackathon projects. The submission dates start from May 16th, 2022 through to July 29th, so there's plenty of time. And judging will be August 1st through to August 12th. The winners will be announced August 16th, so there's 3 months to start building and getting those projects done. When it comes to the prizes, you can literally come in at 5th place and still win something. First place winners in each category are looking at $50,000, all the way to 5th place at $10,000. Now, there are a few rules. So first, you need to be in the Discord community. You've got to fill out their application form and you have to program in Solidity. You need a public repo of your project and a presentation deck for your solution, and public milestones posted into the Tron DAO. Projects are judged on technicality and design, business model and feasibility, usability, practicality, use cases, and contribution to the crypto ecosystem. So aside from just the prize money, they're also looking for the possibility to give you additional funding if your project has a large user base. You'll also get listed on exchanges that support the Tron ecosystem, and you'll get promoted on Tron DAO social media. So we'll leave a link in the description below for you to go and check it out and start building. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching, and we'll speak to you soon.